Hey everyone, hey everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm turning my head from side to side because I realize that healthcare and skincare is so important. It's good to find a regime. I saw this elderly lady being interviewed, which she had on a nice pair of tights, a nice tights, sorry. And I guess they were looking at her and saying, "Oh my God, miss, like really? How comes your butt looks so good?" And she said, "Years of just treating her body right. She really looked good. You can see it was a big, she looked like she was maybe in her 70s, thereabout. And, like hips and shape and sexy and round. I'm like, what? Yeah. So if you want to know what I use, contact me, please. I'm here to help. That's a part of my mantra on this earth, to help others. And others help me too, because, we're all learning from each other. Um, Now, I today want to talk about it's kind of like a pin stick or needle sticking situation as it regards Prime Minister. Now, over the years, the Prime Minister, the current Prime Minister, the Honorable Andrew Holness. Now, over the years, Prime Ministers have been disrespected, disregarded by members of the Jamaican populace, by people from other Caribbean islands all over the world. That's a common assault, as they would say. However, I don't know if it is because of the advent of social media and everybody wants to get fame and fortune by any and every means. I can't say I'm not in the minds of others. I find that the level of disrespect and disregard has taken another turn. No, I just found out today. I thought it was against the law to say any derogatory thing against the Prime Minister. People say he's a regular, citizen of the country, which is true. Yes, I understand that. But I guess because I've figured because he holds a particular office that it is unlawful. Just as so I think it's in the law that to tell a police in Jamaica bad words is against the law and they can lock you up for it. But maybe any other word is, when we talk bad words, the different bad words in Jamaica, what we call bad words, you know. And so I figured the same, definitely, obviously, even more so, would follow for the PM or members of the cabinet and persons who hold a particular type of office. I found out by a lawyer today that's not the case, However, maybe because of my own convictions, I don't like to separate morality from legality. I know I live in the real world. What you call morally upright may not be what I call morally upright. For example, for me, what is immoral is committing adultery, committing fornication, stealing, lying, robbing, raping, defaming somebody's character. These you can find in the commandments. Disrespecting God mostly, that is number one. Saying all manner of evil against God and God's people, treating others badly. These are what you would call sinful acts, against the commands of God. Some of them will venture from morality into legality. For example, murder and murder, lying in a sense. When I say lying, yes, you can get in trouble, and I'm not talking like a little white lie, something that can create some kind of problem in the legal sense. Murder, obviously, stealing, obviously. Some of the others, would not necessarily be a legal issue, that is a morality issue, as in fornication, adultery, being unkind to people in your words or your attitude. You can't be policed and locked up for that. If I choose to speak to you in a disrespectful manner, if I choose to cut my eye, at you and behave in an unseemly manner, in terms of my disposition, how I look at you, how I speak to you, my tone of voice, shouting at you, that is just more of a morality issue as opposed to a legal issue. However, people, some people will not agree with me, and that's fine. That is fine. The only thing that I will say in this manner or this matter is always try to put yourself in each person's shoe. Ask yourself, if you are the Prime Minister of the country and you have a task in front of you. I don't know the reasons behind him taking the curfew to let me qualify what I'm saying when I say I don't know the reasons behind. Meaning, we know that there is the pandemic at hand, and you hear that the numbers are going up. I'm not talking from that angle, but in terms of what persons are saying is that his birthday came up at the time, and the curfew was relaxed, went to 11 o'clock. As soon as his birthday passed, suddenly hear that numbers are going up, and now we're back down to 8 o'clock as the curfew time. And the holiday 3 o'clock until 5 a.m. the next business day. So whatever the reasons are in terms of this up and down times with the curfew, apart from the coronavirus, with the subliminal messages behind it, whatever it may be, it could be bad, it could be good, I don't know. The fact of the matter is he has been appointed the Prime Minister. Some people like that, some people don't like that, but the reality is he is the Jamaica's Prime Minister. If you're a Jamaican, he's your Prime Minister. If you're living in Jamaica, he's your Prime Minister, whether or not you support his leadership or his governance, whether you're on the JLP's side or you're on the PMP's side. The fact of the matter is he's the current Prime Minister. Now, some people don't accept the biblical principles of the Bible. They talk about it's a white man's Bible, King James Version, and some of what he had written was really to support the governing parties or the laws of the land and all of that. But God is an intelligent God. We're governed not by rocks and sticks and stones. We're governed by him, the supreme being, and yet on the earth we're governed by authorities. Now, picture yourself being in authority, whether in your home, at a workplace, and you do something that it's not bad. You're really trying to help the people in a sense, because that's the underlining message. Look here, the less persons get to commute and move around, we are going to control the disease, since everybody has not been vaccinated according to the Prime Minister. So it is really for your own good, according, to the whole scenario. But picture yourself being in a leadership role. Just put yourself there for a moment, and you're trying to do something to help somebody, and the level of disrespect that you face in terms of the words that they say, and they boldly, not only boldly, but presumptuously post these things for the world to see. As if I am big and bad. I don't care who you are. I'm going to say any and everything that comes to my mouth because you disturbed something that I wanted to do, and you come with this rubbish about moving the time from 11 and carrying it down to 8 p.m. I would love to see how you would handle it if you were in his shoe. Now, I'm not saying it is right, to do a tit-for-tat situation if that is the case. Maybe it's not him sending the police officers, but I guess the police officers, when they watch it, they say, no, we can't just allow disrespect. Yes, it may not be illegal, because as I said, I didn't know it was not. But we can't just watch the level of disrespect. And can I tell you, this type of behavior happens in the homes, it happens in the workplaces. May not be to that level like that, and it has been allowed. It has been allowed. So the only thing I will say to people is just put yourself in the Prime Minister's position, whether you're a GLP or PNP. If you're a parent, just think about you laying down some rules, that your child, and they speak to you in that manner. I want you guys to watch it back. And he's not the only one, because there's this one with they use puppets, and there was another one I saw, maybe about 3 or 4 I saw different ones, and I'm saying to myself, is this the country that I'm living in? This is what Jamaica has gone. No, you might say all over the world they have done it. Yes, but you don't really get up and see people literally videoing themselves presumptuously, boldly like that, and posting and being, like I said, look here, I fear no man, no beast, no boy, no girl in no way. And you're going to, and you just lay it out, call even saying that the man is a gay man, B man, and what kind of thing must go in up under him and whatnot and whatnot. And it gets people of Jamaica, that cannot be right. It cannot be right. And I'm not saying that two wrongs make a right. If what he did, if he is behind it, may not be, because sometimes people take on other people's burdens. As I'm saying, when the police officers look on, because him say, I live, like he would say, I live at 12 Hope Road, Kingston 6, for example. I mean, the level of presumptuousness, if there's a word, the level of, saying it with such pride, and not pride in a good way. Pride in terms of what got Satan kicked out of heaven, that level of pride. The venom and the disrespect behind it, people. Come on, people. And the only way I hear people defending the guy, and I'm saying, people, put yourself in the Prime Minister's position. Think of you if you're a parent and you sit down and you lay down rules, even if your child doesn't like it. And they respond in a similar manner. I would love to see how you deal with it. Or you're at a workplace and you're the manager and you lay down a particular rule, or and they speak to you in a similar manner. Because nobody will ever understand until they're the person disrespected. I know what disrespect feels like, let me tell you, no one will understand until they're disrespected. So I'm saying, be careful of how you support bad behavior. In Jamaica, we have allowed lawlessness, bad behavior, indiscipline to just run rampant throughout the country and throughout different organizations, throughout different sectors, not just public sector, because they feel like it's only public sector. A lot of the bad behavior, butcher behavior, and vulgar behavior go on, not necessarily even in private sector. And I'm saying, I just would love to see how you would handle it if you were in his stead. Maybe some of you would be good. Maybe it wouldn't trouble any of you. Maybe some of you would just say, sure, mouth make for talk. But can you imagine you being in your home and your child does that and video and saying it with pride, as if what I'm saying is right, saying all these derogatory things. We have to set some boundary. We have to get back to the days of discipline, people. That is why Jamaica is in the state that is in. And I'm talking about the coronavirus. We're in a bad state, people. Even if your morality differs from my morality, there are some basic truths that are universal. Respect is key. I watch TikTok, I watch this and that, and I hear a lot of men and women talk about if you don't have respect, we have but yet we defend disrespect. Yet we defend, and persons were even appalled that the guy was made to apologize publicly after he publicly disrespected and was derogatory to the Prime Minister. People, he's our leader. It has nothing to do with GLP or PNP. And the only way you will understand, for those who support it, is when you're in leadership and they do the very same thing to you. That's the only way you'll understand. It's not right. I'm not going to support it. I'm going to put myself in his position. Because I could be the Prime Minister of Jamaica. I could be the President of the United States. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving an example. I could be me, and I would never want them to do it. No, when I was watching some of the speeches from Barack in his day of reign, I saw people making terrible comments too. But they never came out about the land and publicly videoing themselves. Honey, what's it? Not this and that, and I'm live here and there. What? They would never dare do that. It's like a child, if they know their parents will hold them accountable, and they have come from strict parents. Even if they grumble and say all kind of manner of evil behind their backs, you're not going to boldly come in front of the parents' face like that so easily. They're not going to do it. They'll grumble and say all behind their backs. Think about yourselves. But to tape it, that's the part that disturbs. And I live here. Excuse me? If we allow these things, people, the country will go awry, far worse than what it is. Respect is the order of the day. No, I'm not professing like I'm the most respectful person. I've said things that may have been disrespectful to others, not necessarily willingly, But I don't just get up and do that because, you know, I feel like I want to be a disrespectful kind of person. That's why sometimes in life, when you see things happen to people, whether sickness take them, or them dead by gunshot, or this, sometimes because of their bad behavior, and the universe say, no more of you. This is enough is enough. People, be careful how you support disrespect. Again, I mean, if his right was violated and all of that, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I personally didn't have any problem with them taking him in to apologize. That's rude. It is rude. It is out of line. Even if it is not on the law books. Even if the Prime Minister, yes, I know he's a Jamaican citizen as well, but he has been placed in leadership. So you have to show respect, man. You must show respect. I'm choosing the words have to and must. We can't go on like this, and we will not understand until we become the victims. And God will ensure that, you know, for those who support the bad behavior from the guy. Now I hear other things that they're dropping larceny on him and all of that because it's not on the books, though. Disrespect, because it's freedom of speech. I think we're misunderstanding the freedom of speech, you know. We're derailing from what people like Abraham Lincoln, Marcus Garvey, you call them the Martin Luther King, and some of the other greats have fought for. I think you guys are misunderstanding. He spoke, if you listened to them, they definitively, clear-cut spoke against disrespect. At no point did they talk, you know, the freedom that they were talking about. Freedom for black people to have equality with the whites or whichever other race. Because it's really one race, the human race. In terms of getting things, black shouldn't be put in at the back while the whites at the top. Or poor people put at the back while the rich is put to the top. You know, those are the things that they're talking about. Freedom of speech in terms of my opinions, but in a respectful manner. They never spoke about disrespecting people. So we have to be careful how we use this freedom of speech thing. We're taking it too literal and out of context. At no point in time would any of those guys, if they were alive, support disrespect like that. I guarantee they would not have. They would never have done that. And I'm sure that Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Farrakhan, this one, that one, Mother Teresa, would I call him? Some of them would have rocks him up hard, or some would talk firmly with him and say, don't you dare do that again. Don't you dare speak about the Prime Minister like that's rude. You're out of order. He was out of order. And this needs to stop, people. We're tolerating disrespect and using freedom of speech too much. I am not going to tolerate that. Personally speaking, I can't stop people from disrespecting me in a sense. I can control how I behave or control the encounters we have or whatnot. You know, so that you're going to see the barricade come up. But we have gone awry. It doesn't matter which Prime Minister is in party, whether it's GLP, PNP, NP, POP, PMOB, it doesn't matter. We are reveling and rejoicing in disrespect. I'm not going to support that, people. I'm not going to support that. And I'm not saying two wrongs will make a right. I am not saying two wrongs will make a right. You know, a lot of people are defending the man who was arrested by the police officers and made to apologize. Are we serious? Are we serious? May God intervene. May God intervene in this country. We have put disrespect as number one. So you're saying that he can say anything he pleases, publicly like that, boldly like that, and he just gets away? No thank you, nothing. So people, I'm sorry. I'm not into that's what? Oh my God. What is happening in our country? What's going on with Jamaica? What is happening with our country? So disrespect is the mainstay, and they were going to guide it under the thing about freedom of speech, that he's allowed to say anything he wants. No, people, like no people. And I'm not saying that he must be unjustly arrested or anything like that, but for every action there comes a reaction and a consequence, people. So that's why that is why you would not put yourself in a certain situation and say that. Some of the people who are defending him and all of that, I guarantee you they're not going to publicly tape themselves and say all of that. Since you know the law and you know that it is not unlawful, you know, to say anything and everything in the negative against the Prime Minister, why some of you don't do it? Why would they use, I saw one is puppets they use. Why would I use puppets? Since you're not, you know, it's not illegal, then go ahead, use the puppets. We better make our calling an election, sure. This is crazy. The same way you tolerate that disrespect, it will happen to you guys. I'm not wishing it, it's just a reality. Whatever seed you sow, you shall reap. Wherever your heart is, that's where your treasure is. That is what will come to you. I am not gonna support something like that. Will never support something like that. That's bad. That's bad. And until you're in a leadership position, you will understand. Because no matter how good you think you are as a leader, some people will never like you and they will never like what you do, and they're going to think it is selfish to support something that you do. It doesn't matter which one is in. I never liked when they had disrespected the former Prime Minister, Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller, and others. I never liked it. It was wrong. Because I always suppose it was me. It's crazy. People, do not make disrespect the order of the day and put it on this pedestal. You understand? And again, I'm not supporting any illegal actions towards a man. So as I said, you don't fight fire with fire. But for every action, a consequence and a reaction will happen. He allowed that. It was for me. I'm glad they made him apologize. I'm sorry for those who may not support that. He was way beyond rude and disrespectful. That's crazy. That's out of order. And many of you who are supporting his behavior would not do it. And even if you're from the other party, don't support those things, people, because you will end up regretting it. Don't support evil. The Bible says if you reward evil with good, evil will never leave your doorstep. And we're not talking about loving your enemies sort of a situation. I'm talking about if a child does wrong and you reward them with something good, they will always think that, oh, when I do bad, I will be rewarded, so I will do bad. And when they get older and you're no longer around or you're no longer financing them, what they will do, they will steal, kill, destroy, do everything to get, because what they have been taught is, when I did bad, I was rewarded. So evil will never leave your doorstep. It's just natural. That's a natural law of life. And it's in the Bible. You can find it. Even if you don't believe the Bible, it's a natural law of life. Just you do that. You have a child and they do wrong and you reward them and see what happens. I don't think many of you would want to do that, because it will boomerang and affect you as a parent. Anyhow, have a great one. Take care. Stay blessed.